Afternoon, Gossip Talk Shows family. It's Nancy here at Gossip Talk Shows. Find your own voice, lead from within. So with me today, I'm with Carol Ann. How are you, Carol Ann?
I'm good, thanks. Very well. What about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you for asking. How is life?
Exciting. Um, Challenging, as usual, but exciting, exciting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the topic today is um, dream, dreams deferred, not denied, achieving goals against the odds. Um, isn't inspiring. This video is going to inspire you guys. We're going to explore the resilience and the determination needed to overcome challenges and reach one inspiration through powerful stories, practical advice, and motivational insight. So this video is going to emphasize that setbacks are not permanent obstacles, but opportunities to learn, grow, and persevere. It features real life. So we're going to share real life stories, guys, of us individual, me and Carol Ann. And then some of you guys, you can type it. We share how transform diversity into achievement, demonstrating that dreams delayed are not dreams lost. Actually, I like this topic, Carol, and yeah, it's very, very powerful. But what is behind this topic? I'm sure the audience would like to know. Why have you chose
Yeah.
this topic?
Um, well, it's like, where do I start? Where do I start? It's actually culminated. It was Saturday, speaking on Des's stage. That's the sort of like the culmination of 20 years plus goal. I set, over 20 years ago, I set a goal to speak on a big stage. It was a particular stage. It was the Yes Group stage at that time. And as I say, that was over 20 years ago. And the journey that I've taken as I'm looking back culminated in it happening on Saturday on someone else's stage. And I just thought, yeah, it's taken all those years. And I thought of everything that I've been through to get there, but it happened. And so when I just sort of explored possible titles, this one jumped out at me. It's because, yeah, dreams may feel like they are denied, that you're not going to get them. Therefore, it's like ongoing, you constantly challenged with it. But actually, the thought that maybe they're deferred, I quite like that thought. So I thought it might be good to explore. And there's lots of examples that I can give. I just found myself going through quite a few this morning as I was exploring the topic. So yeah, that's where it's come from. So what about you, Nonsa? As you when you saw the topic, what came to mind?
The topic because I was talking to one of the girls 2 days ago. I saw her at the shop, supermarket, and I
Mhm.
said to her, "How is the business going?" And she was like, "Oh, the business is on the side now, because I work." And the last time I saw her, and the business was on the side. No, she put it on the side. She go back to it, and she was like she had changed the branding and everything. And then this time I meet her, she's changed, she's put it back on the side. So I said to her, why don't you like use me as your accountability partner? Because there's never be a right time where challenges are presented when it comes to business is where you need to want more to work on that business, and because you don't know what's on the other side. So I was like, the journey for success it ain't easy. and there's no right time for it. You're just gonna have to make sure that you work on your goals. So yeah, so when I saw this topic, I was like, she's not the only one. There are so many people that I see on Facebook. I met Des O'Connor's event and I see them
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook. And every time I see them, they've changed their business. Or they're like, I'm no longer doing that. I'm doing something else. I'm like, okay, okay.
That's right. And it's about not making it wrong. Sometimes we need to have that flexibility and make that shift and realize that we're not necessarily failing in the goal that we'd set. Something else has come up and maybe we need to follow that path.
Yeah.
And I when I first got married, I trained in to become a teacher, an infant teacher. And that was my dream. And that's all that I thought about. But I never got a teaching post to start with. And I just kept visualizing it, sort of dreaming it. And I had some other jobs because obviously I needed to bring some money in because I just got married. That I kept focusing on, I want to teach. And then I had my children. And interestingly enough, while I was in one particular job, they gave me day release to get my maths degree, which was something I hadn't really thought about. But it was like, oh, that was nice. So they paid for that and I got that. And I got it in 3 years rather than doing 4 because I got my teaching certificate. I was able to go straight into the second year. So I did sort of the last 3 years of that course. And and then I had the children. I was actually pregnant with my first daughter. I was about 8 months pregnant when I took my final exams with my degree. So, of course, then I left work. But I always kept thinking about teaching. And as my children were growing up, I then ran a play group. And then managed to get some supply teaching in a secondary school. And there was still that hankering I wanted to teach because that's what I trained in. But then doing supply in a secondary school, there was a post came up for um, it's a temporary post to fill in for a teacher who was off sick. And I took it. It was maths, teaching maths. And it was my degree that helped me in terms of financially because it boosted me up on the pay scale. But also having that degree in maths helped me to get that teaching post in a secondary school. And that's where I ended up teaching for 18, 19 years, Well, it was about 17 years in the school and then 2 years in the post-16 college. But it's like you don't know where it's going to go, but there was that dream I wanted to teach. And it was just taking things as they went. And I always thought I would carry on teaching. But again, that's another story where other things take over. So it took how long? It was because I was 21 when I got married, and I think I was 25 when I had my first daughter. So I was nearly 30, I think, when I got the teaching post. So it was probably a good 10 years after I'd finished college, before I actually got a full-time teaching post, even though it wasn't in the level of age group that I trained in. So yeah, it's this case of it was deferred, not denied. There was other things that I went through in life that helped me to get there and end up actually where I really did enjoy teaching that subject and that age group. And it was because I believed I couldn't teach that age group. I didn't think I had the confidence when I first went to teach training college. That's why I chose infants. But yeah, setting up the local play group was fun. And I really enjoyed that. But yeah, teaching secondary school was another challenge. And realizing that the expectations that you have of the children is the same. You still need to give them the boundaries, but it's just the language. You just have to adjust your language because they're older. I know when I first started teaching in a secondary school and I was talking about going out at playtime and they laughed. What do you mean, miss? Playtime? Yeah, they have a break. They don't go out to play. Like, in the primary school, you call it playtime. So again, it's just the adjustment of language. But yeah, it's amazing where life can take you. And that particular dream came about. So yeah, well, I can't remember what your question was or where that came from, but I liked this title, this thought that they're deferred. And there's been a lot over the years that I can think back on, and I'll probably share some of those as we go. What about you, Nomsa? Are there any sort of dreams that you've had in the past that have taken a long time to come to fruition, that you felt, oh my God, is this ever going to happen?
The Carol on. There's
That's how I felt with
many,
teaching. It's like, am I ever going to get into the classroom? I just kept, it was like a hankering, and I just thought it would never happen.
there's many Carol on, but what keeps me going is I've learned to stand still. What I do is what I've done is I like when you say teaching in secondary school, when you raise your kids, you had to go and start by setting up a group. Not many parents have that courage to be able to do that. Some people, when they have children, they believe that they're done, that's it. They can't succeed, they can't do anything. But the truth is, if you are talented and you know you're talented, for me, what I do is I look at my life when I was a child, the things that I was passionate about, the things that I love to do. Even now as an adult, I basically ask God to show me my gift. And I know that my gift is not anywhere rather than when God guiding me through working with people, serving people. So that's where my gift is. If somebody was to come in now on LinkedIn and have this big thing and say, no, sir, this is where you need to be, I'm like, no, because I know not every job is for me. So I think it's really, really important, like with this topic, Carol, and dreams, when they're not coming to pass, it's really, really important to stand still and just putting up, just keep praying. I don't know for those who are not Christian, because like Carol Ann, she puts the topic, it says dreams deferred, not denied. Achieving goes against the odds. For me, it's like whatever I need to achieve, I got to go for it. Like we went to Desmond O'Connor, and for me, I saw a different Carol Ann, not this one. I was telling Claudia actually, I
Mm.
saw this woman who's 70 years old. She's so beautiful and looks so young and so confident. Even Des, when he wanted to dance more, he went, I can't do this, Carol Ann. He's way younger than you. He was like, I can't do this. So yeah, so for
Uh,
me, it's so beautiful to see you putting yourself out there. But there are some people in your category, women, who believe that they're done, they can't do anything. So it's like similar to me. There are people in my age who have got kids who believe that their dreams cannot be fulfilled, but dreams can be
mm,
fulfilled. Um, for me personally, I put things on the side. And I've realized that actually when I've started fasting, sometimes I realize that people can be distraction. There are some people that I've given up, they've given up on me, like judging me, but then I've decided to not to argue with them, not to explain myself, and I've decided to focus on me. And I'm discovering the real me. Actually, yeah. We went filming on Saturday and on Friday, and speaking on Saturday. But then I put a video um on my Facebook page. So there's a company where I've applied to get a job, a filming job, and they wanted my pictures, and I was like, the photographer, I don't have really nice pictures. I've got like my pictures are not like current. So I took pictures on Friday, professional photographer, but they're not very nice. So I sent that video on Facebook. I said, listen, if you want to know me, if you want to see the real me, here's the video. um and he was like, yeah, I like it, I want to work with you.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
before I would be like judging myself. I'll give myself 20 reasons why I cannot do it. But I've realized that I just need the stronghold, stagnation is people, and Satan knows. He will surround you with people that will talk you out of your dreams, that they will tell you that they love you and they'll pin you down. Honestly, they'll pin you down, and then when you use them to turn against you, and you focus on explaining to them why you do what you do. Just what you need to do is just stay focused. Let people be people, stay focused, because we are in this world to succeed. We are in this world to create our own dreams. So all I can say, anyone that is watching, is Carol Ann, she had kids. She believed in herself. Like dreams are built in unexpected. You build this dream by starting teaching, and through teaching, you were Maths lady. Nothing else. Maths is what you loved. And then you were like, okay, go start my own business now, writing. And you did it. You were speaking. You were on stage speaking and dancing. And Denzel Mondokona even said, he actually, I can't do this no more, Carol Ann.
Oh, that was so exciting to be back on the stage dancing again.
It
Um,
was, yeah,
I love it.
it was really nice. And I just say thank you to anyone that create a stage for anybody to be on that stage. I think that is amazing. Because when you create a stage, you open doors to other people who wouldn't have that opportunity. So thank you to him. I got
Yeah.
to watch you. It
Yeah.
was packed. Where did all those people come from?
I don't know. They came. It was a really amazing event.
It was
But
packed.
the energy that was put into it, all the prep that went into it before, the marketing, it was exciting. There was a buzz going on, and
Yeah.
that was just as exciting as getting up onto the stage, but being there early and helping, setting up, because I've done crewing a lot over the years for lots of different events, and that's in my blood. I do love that side of things, and I've always been saying, right, my place is on the stage, and that's where I want to be. So sort of making that transition, but still, being a part of just helping to put it together was exciting. But that I was, connecting with all the other speakers, and that was exciting. It was like this buzz, and we were posting on each other's or commenting on each other's posts as we posted about the event, and it just felt really exciting. So to actually get up onto that stage, because many years ago, over 15, 20 years ago, when I used to be part of the Yes Group in London and Bristol, but in London particularly, it was a really big event then. They used to have really big speakers, and the room was packed, quite a few hundred people. And I remember setting a goal to lead the dancing, because I used to be one of the dancers as part of the crew. I would be up there dancing, and I remember setting a goal, thinking, yeah, I'd love to lead the dancing. And it just happened one day. One time, the person that always led it had to go and do something else. So I just stepped in. There was no, I had a conversation about it. It just happened. And I think when you're in alignment with everything and you've cleared whatever limiting beliefs or fears you have in yourself that push it away, the opportunity arises and you just find yourself doing it. It's not even a case of, oh, shall I, shan't I? Did it? It just, you just do it. And from that point on, I was leading the dancing every month. So to be able to do that again, because I say the last 10 years, I haven't been able to dance like that or walk. And especially last year with being in hospital and where I went and sort of touch and go, whether I'd still be here or not. And then picking up and learning to walk. And now I'm able to run a bit as well. I'm running for buses. It's quite exciting. But I've been practicing doing that dance every morning since I decided what the song was I was going to go up to the stage with. And visualizing, every time I was dancing to that song, I was visualizing everyone out there. I'm on the stage and everyone's dancing. And I also then visualized, because I'd said to Des about, well, I'd like you to stay, on the stage with me. So I was then visualizing him to my right, which is where he was, and looking at him and laughing. And it's like, it was there. So there is that visualizing it and actually moving with that dream. It's not just a case of sitting still and thinking about it. It's doing some movement to anchor it in. But to be able to dance like that again was just so exciting, to have that energy, to be able to bounce up and down in that way. Because beginning of the year, I couldn't have bounced like that at all. I couldn't even lift my arm up any higher than this. So to be able to sort of be doing this as well, it's so exciting. And it was lovely to just see everybody taking part. And that's the beauty of it. There's that connection with dance and movement, and it just gets the energy shifting. And then you can just talk from there. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So it's something about staying focused. You said about being focused on what your goal is. It's about having it there in the back of your mind and going, keep coming back to it and saying, well, this is what I want. And just putting up those prayers and saying, okay, Lord, because very often in the past, it's been like, I've often accused him of dangling carrots at me and going, for heaven's sake, Lord, it's like you're dangling this carrot in front of me and you're forever moving it. It's like, it's on the stick in front of me, dangling. And the more I move forward, it carries me on moving forward. And so, but eventually the carrot just drops and it's there and you're in the dream. It's happened. And sometimes it can feel or seem like dreams aren't going to happen. And there was a couple of years ago, where are we? Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I did a course with somebody. It was about daring to dream. And I realized that I'd stopped dreaming. All the questions things that we were working through, the questions she was asking. And as we worked through them, I just realized I'd stopped dreaming. And it was a case of, okay, dare to dream again. And yeah, since last year, I just feel like I've got a completely new lease on life, and I can dare to dream. I can walk. I'm beginning to run. I can dance again, and I'm on the stage and I'm speaking out. I've found my voice. And so what more dare I dream? It's possible. It is just keep dreaming. But it is having that flexibility of sometimes it goes somewhere, because the stage that I'd set was the Yes Group big stage. I have spoken earlier on this year. I spoke on the Yes Group in their events that they do now, which are smaller events. So that goal was realized. I did an hour session at one of their in-person events earlier this year. So for me, that goal was achieved. And it's just recognizing that sometimes the full goal gets achieved somewhere else. And so it was Des's stage that the bigger goal got achieved. So it's recognizing that and not putting down the achievements that you do have. So even though it was a smaller number of people at the Yes group that I was talking to, it wasn't the big stage that I had set the goal at. It didn't matter because it was a stepping stone. And you have to acknowledge the stepping stones and take them as they come, because that bigger one eventually comes. So yeah, it's just keep on going. And I think I need to write about my speaker journey, because I've listed everything that I've done over the last over 20 years. And in the beginning, it was excruciating is the word. I use 5 minutes used to freak me out. What am I going to say in 5 minutes? I got to do that. Or I'd stand like, I can't say this. And I remember in one training, I was doing a very small talk, and I lost my thoughts, and I went, oh gosh, I've just died. And then it was like, oh no, I haven't. And I didn't catch myself doing that. It was someone else that pointed that out to me afterwards and said, just notice what you said. You said you just died, you died. And then you went, oh no, I didn't. And I caught that, and it's like, wow, I really focused on that and realized that actually that was a fear of dying on stage. And I thought I'd died just because I'd forgotten my words. And that realization that actually, no, I haven't died, just forgot my words for a moment and carried on. That was a huge learning in that moment that I was able to carry on with and keep going. And so that fear sort of dissipated. So is there anywhere where you sort of had some aha moments, Nomsa, in a goal where there's been a bit of fear, and then you've had a realization that actually it's not true?
I get fear sometimes. Um, when I started speaking with Des, I used to like fear. When I fear, it's like asking too many questions. And when I ask too many questions, he goes, no, sir, shut up. You're scared. Stop asking questions. Just put the phone away. Stop texting me.
Oh,
Yes. And he'll be like, you know your work? Just get ready and do your work. You know what you were doing, how you serve your clients, so you don't need to be scared. So for me, it's like I'm okay. I used to be okay, like the fear will come when the time is near. It's when like, and then the questions will start popping up in my head. So I'm just asking like questions I already know, but I'm gonna ask them anyway. Something I need comfort. But once he told me to shut up his fear, I decided,
yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not gonna text you. But then you see him now will be texting me, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'll be like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But fear, it does that. But now because I have gone fasting for a long time, I don't fear anymore. I have freedom within me. And does it mean life is good? Life is good and bad? Yes. Challenges, they do come, but all you have to do is you have to, when you are facing with these challenges, you have to outline the common obstacles that you encounter along the way when you are pursuing your goals. Uh, Sometimes I get faced with financial issues. I used to let social pressure get into me, personal limitation. I used to let them, but now I don't. I'm aware of the barriers that come along the way. So what I do is I just talk to God and say, you know what? Uh, Whatever the journey where I'm going, is the unknown. So God knows in my heart that I need him to help me. So the Holy Spirit always intervene and help me. So yeah, but all I can say is when you are faced with challenges, just keep going. When you are faced with joy, celebrate your joy. You deserve it and celebrate it. And there's nothing easy. You can't use, mostly people, they use finances. They use, I don't have this, I don't have this. But what I have realized since I'm fasting and going for my dreams, anything that is in front of me that needs to be done, I accept it in my heart that I'm going to do this. And once I accept it in my heart, the solution comes along after. So if I make a decision and say, I don't have money, I can't do this, then I will never know the outcome. So what I do is if someone comes in and say, no, sir, I've got this for you, for your company, or can you do this, do this? Even if I don't have money, if I know it's my dream, I say, yes, let's do it. I don't have the money. I just say yes. And I'm like, God, I've just said yes, but I don't have that big money to pay. So what do you say, God? And I just relax. And I find that the solution comes in after, but not before. The solution comes in after I have agreed and after I have accepted that I don't control life. God is in control of the situation. He always makes a way. So anyone out there that is saying no to things, just say yes. The universe works with us. What we want to do in our heart, if we truly, truly want to do it for the right reasons, to empower other people, God will make a way. That is, for me, that's what I've realized, that every time I say yes to something, I always find a solution. But sometimes I have to I have to hold on and say to that person, hold on, I'm still gonna, even when the deadline is passing, I just say, I'm gonna do it. And I find that it happens. I do it. That's what I've learned anyway. I never used to be like that, but that's what I have learned. First, you tell me I got to do this, I'll be telling you I need to find money, I need to do this. I'm not saying, guys, don't sign up to people and take courses and stuff and say, oh yeah, Domsa said no. What I'm saying, I'm talking, because there are some courses that you don't need. But God comes through to something that he believes that you truly, truly need it. Not buying something you're going to put it in the cupboard. Anything you truly, truly need it, that is a necessity. The training, that is a necessity for your company or for your children, whatsoever. He always comes through, always.
That's what I
I don't know
found.
about you, Carol Ann.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
has your journey like?
It's been amazing, really. As you say, it is about saying yes and trusting and taking that step forward, because then you as Brandon Bayes, who wrote The Journey and pioneered the journey process, and she said, she always says, you take one step towards grace and grace takes 1,000 steps towards you. So it is that movement. It's taking that step. It's showing commitment by taking that action, and it shows that you're serious. And even if it seems like something knocks you off course, it's having that resilience to just bounce back and say, okay, what's happening here? What's going on? And just actually, rather than saying, oh, I can't deal with this, or I can't cope with this, or it's about asking questions and saying, okay, so what's it going to take for me to cope with this? What needs to happen in order for me to be able to do this? Or, so it's about framing questions in a way that says it helps you move forward, rather than thinking, oh, I really can't do this anymore. or this is too much for me. Well, how much is too much? It's just, again, it's just asking those questions. How much is too much? And it's that realization that I actually found along this journey, that you're never given anything that you really can't cope with, that you don't have the tools to deal with, or the people that you know that can help you. So if you feel like you're given something that you really can't cope with, it's way beyond you, just stop and think and go, well, okay, what skills have I got? What can I do that would help me through this? Or who do I know that I could ask for support? Because there is someone that you've already met that can help you. And that's the reason you've been given whatever has shown up in your life. And these are learning opportunities. It's opportunities for you to grow and get to know yourself at a deeper level in a more empowering way. Because when I first started, I did all my instructor trainings for Brain Gym, for Touch for Health, even for NLP trainers training. But I never took up and started running courses or doing them as an instructor because I didn't believe in myself. I couldn't see myself being able to do it. It's just like there was a part of me that didn't believe I was up to it. And so I've carried on through and just kept chipping away and just going, okay, so what am I doing? What am I doing? And even when it came about the book, this voice in my head that said, you're going to write a book. And I'm going, what? Me? No. That's not possible. But then I let that go and went, okay, let's get curious and ask questions. What could I write about? And found myself drawn on a journey of helping other people with their writing. It wasn't what I started off with when I left teaching and sort of went on this journey of personal development and attempting to set up my business and get clients. It was just about helping them through getting stuck, through stuckness. But it was like, well, specifically, what sort of stuckness? I kept getting asked that question. I'm like, I don't know. Well, now I do know. They're stuck with their writing, bottom line. And that is a healing journey in itself. It's been a healing journey for me because I've got to know me. I've got to know that actually, just because I'm a mathematician, I love maths, good at maths, that old saying of, you're either good at maths or you're good at English, you can't be good at both, is absolute bunkum. It's because it's said on what's been observed and not true fact that actually you're capable of both. It's just about unlocking that ability within you. Because what you've got is you've got a strength and I was really, had that strength in maths and that way of thinking, but I've unlocked that ability with writing and I'm still unlocking it, that I'm enjoying words more. I am enjoying sitting down and putting words together and actually putting my talks together now. They're not as painful as they were in the beginning. It was painful. I'd be going, my stomach was tight and I'd be agonizing day in, day out about what could I write? How could I put it? And I couldn't write it down. Now I just do a process. I just notice what's going on, do a process and do a bit more and just allow myself movement. I'll go for a walk and let my mind think it through. But now I have a bit of paper in my pocket and I'll just jot down notes because by the time I get home, I've usually forgotten, all those great ideas. So a bit of paper in my pocket and a pen and just jot down notes. But that movement, I'm finding it more joyful to create my talks now and put together the words. And I have now used AI, which was what my talk was about on Saturday, using AI, but ultimately it has to be your words. So using it for ideas and inspiration is absolutely brilliant. And at the end of the day, I then sat down and it was my words that I used to give my talk, and I would write it out because it was like, well, what is it I really want to say here? What is it I want them to experience and go away with? So, yeah, you just go with it, but it's putting up that prayer each time. And I remember many years ago, because it's often a frustration, because it's how many times do you hear about people saying, oh, I can get you this goal and you can achieve it within a few days or a week or whatever. It's like, get it now, get it done now, set a time on it. You need to set it, give it a time. And I've set time boundaries, and then they've come and they've gone. And it creates another uncomfortable feeling. It's about allowing it to take the time it takes. And there was one time where I was so frustrated. I remember screaming and shouting at the Lord, saying, I want it now. Why can't I have it now? And I was stamping my feet and shouting and screaming in the kitchen. And then I became quiet, and I sat in a brain gym activity called hookups, and I just calmed down, and I just got the
wants it
message.
now.
And literally, a phone call came through in that moment. The phone went, and I'm talking about an old-fashioned phone. It's not the mobile phone. It was a phone, and I had a talk with someone. It was just what I needed to hear in that moment. And I remember thinking, okay, Lord, I get it. Just be still, be patient, and trust. And I realized that my whole journey has been about deepening my trust and my patience. And it still keeps going. Even last year in hospital, it was testing my patience, because and then I got to that point of, well, okay, the doctors and nurses say they're going to do something. It'll happen in its own good time, And again, I had to exercise another level of patience and trust. So, yeah, it's ongoing, but it is about being still, which is something you said, Nomsa, being still, focused in prayer. And it's okay to feel that frustration, acknowledge it, but then just ask for guidance.
Yeah, and also the power of the mindset, Carol Ann, like what you're saying is really, really important. The role of resilience, optimism, and having that courage to adapt into things. It takes courage. It takes a lot to actually do the things that we do as like going like this journey where we are going. It takes really courage, and also surround yourself with people that can support you is really, really important. Not people that feel that they are better than you, but people that makes you feel at home. I think that is really, really important. To surround yourself with people like that come in and motivates you, because every journey, wherever we are, somebody took us there. So like we were at Desert stage, Desert took us there. So it's just that journey, and knowing that, and also knowing that, like Carol Annie, you said, some people, there's this saying that you can't be good in both English and maths. For me, I believe it is the abilities. Whatever you do in life, you get to have a say in it. I can do this. Am I willing to work? Am I willing to really, truly, truly and do this and commit? Yes, you can. If you truly, truly want to do it. People are doing it, and I'm doing it myself. And people, they don't understand when I tell them that I wasn't confident. The things that I do now, people say, I didn't think you could do that. I'm like, yes, I had it in me to do it, but I did not have the confidence to do it. But it's not that I can't do it. The talent has always been there. Everything that I do, the talent has always been there. But it's the fear of people, fear of being judged, trying to fit in with everybody else. Like Desmond O'Connor, when we went to Desmond O'Connor, I've made a choice. I'm done trying to fit in with everybody else, trying to be everybody else. For me, I was like, when that woman was speaking, I made a decision that, you know what, woman, the lady, I've forgotten her name. I made a decision and I said to her, my heart, she makes sense. And I'm done worrying about people, Carol Ann. And just watching you as well on stage, and I was like, I'm done. I'm just, it's like, you know, when Gordon, yeah, that's Gordon. One of the speakers, it was two of them, Gordon. I remember Gordon, the other lady, she's from the Caribbean. But Gordon, he put the people that stood out, those celebrities that stood out, that people remember them. And like that guy from Strictly Come Dance, what is remembered? He said he worked until he was 90. Yeah, and I still remember him. I like the guy. And I was like, I've been holding my life, scared of people, scared of being judged. And I was like, I'm not doing that again. I'm done. And that's why when I came back, Carol Ann, Troy said not to post. I posted the video dating diamonds. Why? Because I'm showing my friends that the show is coming soon.
Yeah.
And this is the hard work that we've been doing. And if I'm gonna be part of it, I'm gonna have to do my part of doing the marketing.
Mm.
So I was like, I'm done playing. I'm done.
Yes.
Like, I'm done. I have to listen to God. I'm done. If the Holy Spirit says it, because for me to wait for Abdullah to live with the dating diamonds and stuff,
Mm.
people just want to get excited. I need to remind people that dating diamonds is coming soon,
Mm.
guys.
Mm.
I need to remind people I've been to days is you can still do it. You can still go to a business event to change your life. So all these things that I see life, I see how life is. So I was like, hey, I'm just done with people like uh, worrying in fear. I can't fear anymore. I have to do what God wants me to do. So I don't know about you, Carol Ann.
I agree. Absolutely. And I'm so glad to hear that you've that control that had been put over you, you've gone enough. You know,
And
it's like,
enough.
yes, enough. I'm not, it is because it's that silence. It was being silenced. And it's like, no, share the glory, share the voice, share the excitement, you know, and that's what marketing is about. You're dangling something in front of people. It's like building that excitement. Well, what is this dating diamonds about? They're coming, you know? So carry on sharing it, because that's what will get people excited about it and engaged and going, oh, I want to know more. And I'm looking forward to being part of Dating Diamonds Angels and seeing where that goes to, because that's the next, that's another step. We're just letting Dating Diamonds emerge to start with. And then because of my age of where I am at, it's like it's another level, it's another age group that we can focus there, and we're Dating Diamonds Angels. So I'm excited to see. And again, it's like, okay, pop it to one side. I thought I was going to get involved in the beginning, but no, it's being deferred. It's not being denied, it's
Yeah,
being deferred. And that's why I love this word. So again, what you said, Nomsa, about going to these events, you never know what little nugget of gold you might pick up. Out of the whole event, it just takes one nugget. And that was for you, that one nugget was this that freedom to express yourself. And for me, I heard one thing that's really what's the word? It struck a chord with me, was somebody who spoke about, I think it was Ryan Williams, he spoke about YouTube as opposed to TikTok. And that obviously YouTube is owned by Google. So which one's going to get the search engine optimization, you know? and get noticed. So really it's about putting it out on YouTube,
Yeah,
not on TikTok. You can do both, but really if you want to get the search
YouTube.
engine optimization and get up top rank on the pages, you need to go on YouTube. And I'm going, oh, okay. And at another event I was at, it was an online event. It's somebody said about I think it was 4 stages, about 4 stages that you can be on, you know, speaking stages. And then she spoke about the fifth one, and she said, that's your stage. And I thought about, oh my goodness. So actually, a Facebook Live, that's my stage. I can do what I want on it, you know. YouTube, that's my stage. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling, I'm thinking about it in a much different way. This is my stage. What do I want to say? Let me just talk. So and so those two sort of nuggets of gold are
Does it
really
mean Carol
forming
Ann is going to
something.
set up her channel as well?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel already. It's about bringing it to life now. I've got a few things already on there in the background, but it's now bringing it and bring it to life. And that's where I think my voice needs to come out rather than Facebook Lives. Let's put them on YouTube. Let's get them up there. You know, it can be both, but I really heard that message. So my stage is YouTube. Let's begin.
This
But this has been
attitude.
a great part of my speaker journey. This is what was I said to you the other day when I met you on Saturday, and I was telling my friends, it's almost 5 years. It'll be December this year will be 5 years that I connected with you, Nomsa, and you were setting up this talk show. I'm going, wow, 5 years. But for me, this has been a huge part of my speaker journey because in the beginning it was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to say. And then I realized that actually it's okay to say what's there to be said in the moment. I felt like we had to keep on track. We had to keep on, on topic but it's okay to go off a bit, off at a tangent, but then bring it back again. And it is just a talk show. And that freed me up no end when I realized that and stopped making others wrong for going off topic, and then going, oh, but just let it happen. So yeah, these last 5 years being on this show has been a huge part of my journey and finding confidence. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And it's not easy, I have to give you guys credit. It's not easy really to like you guys are constantly on the talk show. You guys never like to say, oh, I'm not coming. If you're not coming means you are ill or you guys are away. By consistently you are on the talk show implementing. I was meant to be interviewed by one of my friend, and she did not send me a message. I said to her, I agreed to be on her show, and I said, send me the link. Quarter past, I start my show at 1. Send me the link. She did not send me the link. So when I finish this talk show, I'm going to send her a message and say, hang on a minute. Am I not meant to be doing your show?
Mm,
But it didn't happen. So sometimes things take over.
mm,
Like we could easily be doing other things, but we choose to be here.
mm,
And one day we're just going to look back and say, oh, that's how we started. And we didn't know we're going to end up doing this. So life is a journey. And I think if you keep going, not to give up.
yeah.
So,
But I
yeah.
said that was the thing that got me, or say hooked me in, but actually I felt very connected with you when we first spoke. I really got your commitment and your level of tenacity. You were, determination to make this work. And that's why I knew this was for me, because you've got that same, it's like, yes, this is someone who's not going to give in. She's going to keep going. And that's what I love, So, yeah, and it is that, it's having that perseverance. And even in the face of doubting Thomas's, and questions, those doubting Thomases and questions are only reflections of what's going on inside, and they're there to be cleared, to focus on, to actually give a voice to and say, okay, no, actually, that's not the truth. I don't need that doubt anymore. That doubt, I can answer that doubt and move forward with it. And they've all been ironed out. You know, I love that it's still Ngozi talk shows, because even the name was in question for a while, because it's for us to pronounce, for me to pronounce it. I know for a lot of others, it's like, okay, because I was going Nkosi in the beginning. It's because that's what it looks like for me. But now Ngozi talk shows, it just rolls off the tongue. I made a point of learning how to say the name. And so I think some people
You were
felt it was
gonna
too
have to
big.
learn the name as well, because Nkosi is my first name.
Ah, yes, yeah.
I was surprised when I saw the domain with my first name. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, Nkosi talk shows. Yeah, because it's on GoDaddy. It's
Mm.
like a proper domain.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So yeah, persistence, tenacity, flexibility, just be willing to sort of be flexible if things don't go quite the way you thought they might. There's always that, if it's not this, then there's something better coming, you know, and it's then going, okay, so acknowledge what's here, but what is it that could be coming? What is it that you're really looking for, and defining that, and just keep going. And I love what Winston Churchill said. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And I really believe, I love that quote. So really believe that, and recognize once you've had some success, there's very often a dip. And I've been very aware of this. Sunday, I was, still on a high, but come yesterday, it's like, okay, because there's work to be done. That's not the end of it. That talk on Saturday, that's not the end of it. And that you get into this dip, and it's how far you're going to go into the dip, and recognizing when you're in the dip, what other things suddenly seem like, oh, let's go and do that, or let's go and do that. But actually, they're not what you really need to be doing. They're the thing that you always keep putting off. And so it's about facing that so that you can pull up out of the dip and have more success. Now that's where I'm at the moment, in a little bit of a dip, knowing aware that I'm sliding through the days and not doing what I need to be doing. And challenges are showing up in attempting to do them. And then I say, oh, I can't do this. Then no, come on. So recognize the dip, just smile at it. And I'm actually going to do a little process about that I'm going to put together as a package for people, because the dip is something that everyone experiences after a high. You have that great high and then it dips. But there's another quote. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And that was by Confucius. So, don't worry about falling down. The greatest glory is actually getting up and rising and carrying on again. So how many times can you fall down and keep getting back up again? Keep focusing on that, because it's not that your dreams are being denied. It just might be deferred a bit, because there's something for you to experience along the way that will actually make that dream, when it comes to fruition, something even greater than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes past 2, Carol Ann.
Okay,
Any words of
yeah.
encouragement, girl?
I think, yeah, just if progress feels a bit slow, maybe chunk your goals down even smaller. Maybe the goal is big, come down and go into little tiny steps, and acknowledge each step as you take it. And then look back and go, oh, look how far you've come and how closer you are. even though it might seem a long way off still, it getting closer. So really, it is important just to keep chunking it down and going, okay, so what can I do right now? And if it is just sit and be still and quiet, or if it is go for a walk, or whatever it is, or even putting up a prayer, just focus on what can I do right now that would take me one step closer to my goal. And remember, it's only being deferred, not denied. So what would you like to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, for me, guys, I leave you with this, that setbacks are temporal, they're not permanent. And also the key uh, to succeed is determination. Determination is the key for everything. So whatever you go through, take my advice, never say no to a possible dream. God always, when you are determined to succeed, you don't want to depend on people. God always brings ways. He always has a way to help you. So say yes to success, and then think about the how later, like what Nomsa does. Yeah, think about how am I gonna get the later. So yeah, and if you're watching us from YouTube, please do subscribe to our channel on Facebook. We have got two groups, Unique Billionaire Mindset and Gossip Talk Shows. Please join those groups, and also LinkedIn. Please do share, guys. Twitter, do share the videos. Spread the word and Gossip Talk Shows. I think in 2025 that is coming, 2025 is coming up. Things will have to change. So we're gonna have to find our really fans that support Ngozi talk shows and see how we can help those fans. I've just been monitoring the people that really likes Ngozi talk shows, and those who likes Nomsa, who always support my big fans out there who supports everyone at Ngozi talk shows, guys. So 2024 might have to start rewarding you. 2025 start rewarding you. And I've also changed that. I made a decision that I think 2025 it has to change for me. Yeah, there's a world that I left, but I've decided I'm gonna go back to that world and explore it. Yeah, and explore it and just see what life is. I think it's Eunice and Troy that it making me realize actually I've turned my back on my talents. So I'm just gonna go back and see how the world looks like, looks like there. And God bless everyone and live with grace.